Okay, so we're doing the Module 4 practice annotation task, which is in Booklet 9, and it's an opportunity for us to kind of work through the process of getting a source and then actually doing something with it. So we're going to pretend that my resource matches my topic of how do I do a good job at research project, not underwater knitting for a change. I know, crazy times. But what we're going to practice doing is actually stepping through a resource and thinking about what that means and how do we annotate it. So first thing we need to do is our bibliographic details. However you want to do that is up to you. Cite this for me. We'll do it pretty easy, which is always nice. I am not going to go through the whole process, but you would put a full proper bibliography reference for your source, okay? Mine is incorrect there because we're just going to keep moving. Now, what's next is us thinking about some key information. So if I was going to be thinking about my question, because we have to do this with our question at the front of our mind, how do I do a good job of research project? So I'm not just writing about what is the research project. I'm not just writing about what are the tasks of a research project, which I might have to know as well for my focus questions. But actually, at this point, I'm looking at how do I do a good job. So I'm flicking around the website. I'm looking for things. I'm looking at the video and going, oh, okay, maybe this will give me some advice. And as I am reading through, I'm looking for anything that's going to help us. So for me, I'm thinking I'm going to check out some resources and maybe some support materials so I can do a good job at my assignment, and then I'm going to have a look at some examples. Okay, so all right, yep, I definitely want to look at the A+. That's the sort of grade that I'd like to try and aim towards. And so I'm looking at these examples and I'm looking at how they're working. So as I'm looking at these things, I'm making notes. And it doesn't have to be a lot of notes per resource. If you read a whole book, then obviously you're going to have a lot. If you read one web page, you're not going to have that much. So I might be looking at this and going, okay, so it looks like lots of thorough activities are needed. Lots of detail is a success criteria. Right, let's say that's what I've gotten out of it. Now then what I need to do is actually do something with that so that it's not just a random note, okay? So my suggestion is here, I would actually think about it and I would say, well, this is going to help with focus question 3 because it's going to explain the assessment criteria and how I made it. So I'm actually linking it to something. Then we summarize it. I have learned that RP needs lots of thorough work to achieve well. Those kinds of comments in this box are very much about your thinking and your interpretation and why it's important for someone to know this information. So then we go on to usefulness and limitations, and we think about, why was this useful? Well, useful, I've got lots of student work there, got markers comments that I can use, lots of, valuable information. I can see the information there really clearly. Limitations, well, I don't know, maybe I don't really know how to actually understand some of the SACE performance standards. We wouldn't be the first people to be confused by performance standards. Then I'm going to go through my source analysis. I'm going to do my CRAP testing. Is it credible? Is it reliable? Is it current? Is it valid? And I've got these separated out into 4 areas, but it doesn't have to be 4 areas. It could be mushed together. And so I'm going to say yes, credible because the SACE board has, created this, etc., etc. Okay. This doesn't have to be super long. Don't feel like you have to write 10,000 words per thing, but you do want it to be detailed. We want it to be specific. We want to know as much as we can about the author, about when it was produced and why it was produced. Then we can track down some ethics and capability comments if relevant. Ethical here, probably the main one is, probably just the plagiarism stuff, which is not very useful, but maybe I could talk about some ethics around like my own well-being, because I just saw that